I attended this event today celebrating E.F. Gordon's election to Parliament.
Dr. E.F. Gordon, who had represented the area back in 1946, but he lost an election in 1948. Dr. Gordon was the president of the Bermuda Workers Association, which evolved into the Bermuda Industrial Union. And they conducted a petition throughout the island that actually helped to educate the community, in a community where only 7% of the people were allowed to vote up to that time. They were able to grasp a sense of what democracy was all about. And his election served as let's call it a lighthouse for the transformation of Bermuda. And so in 1950, having lost the election in 1948, his focus on the dock workers at the time, in 1953, it became very important. He became the president of the Bermuda Industrial Union following Dr. Gordon's demise in 1955. And so on that day, he actually, prior to that, he made believe he was going to run in Devonshire. And so he didn't look like they were canvassing in St. George. However, a network was developed, as I said, as a result of Leonard Bascome's work. And but they got the votes, so they won that election on the 25th, 72 years ago, here in St. George. And so it was a breakthrough for the movement that was looking to transform Bermuda to become a democratic society, something that we take for granted, or we may take for granted, and that's why we're highlighting these things.
On the scripture, it's Exodus 1:8, which says, "And there arose a king which knew not Joseph." There arose a Pharaoh in the kingdom of Egypt that didn't know the contribution of Joseph, that didn't know his impact, that didn't realize the legacy of what he had established in the kingdom of Egypt. And as a result, the people came into slavery. And our challenge in 2025 in our modern day is that we perpetuate, that we celebrate, and that we commemorate the legacy of people like Dr. E.F. Gordon. When I was in university, I had written a letter to my cousin, Dale Butler, to ask for a copy of his book, Dr. E.F. Gordon, Hero of Bermuda's Working Class. And he actually mailed it to me in my apartment in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I recall reading it with a lot of great pleasure and delight. One of the interesting things I discovered was, like myself, Dr. Gordon had Trini roots. And so I at least had that in common with him, as well as I love the community. So today, let us continue to take up the challenge to, as we go on this journey of life, that we would draw on Dr. E.F. Gordon's legacy, the ideals that he sought to embody, and that we would draw inspiration, determination, and motivation for this journey called life.
For bringing our history to life and putting it right in our face, because it's through events like this that we kind of learn what it was like in Bermuda some time ago. And it's especially important to have our young people here today so that they can hear, they can learn, and they understand the foundation that it is that they stand on. Because what Mr. Fubler and his group have always spoken about is sometimes it's how far we've come, and then in other times it's how far we still need to go. And so the fact that today we walk to the pills, and me, I'm allowed to be a representative in this awesome constituency. There's no fear of anyone saying that I can't because one, the color of my skin, it's overwhelming sometimes to think of those that came before us. And so for that reason, when we celebrate people like Dr. E.F. Gordon, we celebrate Mr. Bascome because it's brave. He was brave 72 years ago, when he organized people to be able to come to the polls and vote. And so our young people today, when they go to the polls to vote, they do it without any. They don't even have to have a clue or anything like that. They can go and they can cast their ballot, and it costs them nothing. They can do that. That's what democracy truly is about. Like to thank Mr. Foggo and his group for what it is that they do in terms of us living, learning, and continuing to teach our history.
Well, thank you, Renee, for adding that.
You know where the property is as they do it. It's quite interesting. Their courageousness of what they had to go through and what we don't have to go through for our elections now. But it's always nice to be able to put some history with these names and being able to know why it's so special. Because St. George's is a special place anyway, and the rest of the Bermuda needs to realize just how special we are.